Hi, Dave McIntosh here. As we continue our tour of Israel, in our last video, we toured around the Dead Sea. But in this video, we are going to travel around the Sea of Galilee and visit some of the holy sites in that area of the country. The trip from Jericho to the Sea of Galilee is only about 2 hours and basically travels along the Jordan River, though we really didn't see the Jordan River on the trip, but it was quite enjoyable. When we got to the south end of the Sea of Galilee, we traveled up the east side of the Sea of Galilee to Ein Gev, to a kibbutz that was really more like a resort, and it's here we stayed for a few days as we traveled around the Sea of Galilee and visited some of the holy sites there. The Sea of Galilee is really a lake, as it's fresh water and surrounded by land. So, come on, let's see what this area of the country has for us to discover. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. The kibbutz at Ein Gev really was a beautiful place, though the whole east side of Galilee is in a demilitarized zone between Israel and Syria. It seems like Israel is in control of the area. Where we stayed had a beautiful beach and the rooms were very nice. The dining hall had a buffet spread that was unbelievable every meal. Yes, the buffet had traditional Jewish meals, but also choices of American foods as well. I like to spend time down by the water, though we didn't have much time to do that, as we were always on the go. One day, I saw these guys out on the lake fishing. It reminded me so much of the disciples fishing out on the lake. It was very much like the way they did it in Jesus' time, though this boat did have a motor on the back. Most of the time, while we were there, the lake was very calm, but one night the waves did get bigger, and I could see that the lake could get really rough in a storm. Right across the lake was Tiberias, which was interesting to see, especially with all the lights at night. We will visit there in a bit. From here, I'm going to take you north, up to the northwest corner of the Sea of Galilee to Capernaum, though this trip really didn't visit the communities, but we visited holy sites within these communities. So here we visited the home of the Apostle Peter. His home was excavated and today is literally under this very modern church. The church was built in part over it to protect the ruins from the weather. The church is suspended over the ruins so you can see it from outside, but you can also see it through a glass floor from the inside of the church. The church itself is both unique in architecture and amazing in its decor. It was interesting to see Peter's house, though I was totally amazed at how small the rooms of Peter's house was. It was a very interesting sight with the ruins of a synagogue right next to it. We wandered around the site, and it was right beside the lake. I can just imagine Peter and others going out on the lake to fish and I'm sure that the lifestyle of a fisherman back then wasn't a lot different than today, in the sense that they were seen as very hard-working, but in the lower class of society. Now let's go up on the Mount of Beatitudes. It's not far from Capernaum, just a little north and west. The mount is significant and can be seen from quite a distance. At the top is a church. The reason for there being a church at each of these sites is because the church over the centuries has been the one that paid for discovering and excavating these sites. If the church hadn't done this work, we would not have these places to visit today. The Church of the Beatitudes was quite big and had these arches all around the outside. The church was just as beautiful on the inside, especially the altar area. I was amazed by the beautiful gardens around the site, and there was a number of places in the gardens surrounding it where groups could get together and learn more about what happened there. It was where Jesus taught, "Blessed are the peacemakers," and a lot more. The sides of the hill had great acoustics for Jesus to gather a large group of people so he could teach them. Now let's go to Tabgha, a small community where we find the Church of Multiplication, where it is believed that Jesus multiplied the loaves and the fishes and fed the 5,000. It is not far south of Capernaum. This newer looking church was quite stunning, both inside and out. I was captivated by these stands of candles on either side of the sanctuary. Outside, there was an amazing courtyard. Right next to it was the Church of the Primacy of St. Peter, right at the edge of the lake. It was really quite small and old, with a huge rock at the altar, which is one of the names Peter was given, and that the Christian church was built on. Just outside, we walked down to the water's edge and spent time imagining the day that this miracle happened and what it must have been like to be there. We are going to continue traveling south and visit Magdala. This is the town that Mary Magdalene came from. Here we visited an old excavation site with an amazing church right next to it. The excavation site again showed the foundation and walls that used to house a community of people in a small village. The church was more modern, and on the main floor, where the sanctuary was, the altar was in the shape of a ship, and behind the altar there were windows so you could look out at the lake. Downstairs was a chapel with a painting that depicted the woman who touched the hem of Jesus' garment and was healed. It was a very special picture, and we just had to sit and take it all in. Next, we stopped at a restaurant and had a meal of fish from the lake, cooked in a traditional way. It didn't look like much, but it was delicious. Then we were off to Tiberias, a little further south. Tiberias is the only real city on the Sea of Galilee and is quite a modern city. We stopped at a place where we could see an ancient ship recovered from the lake that shows how they were made back in Jesus' time. The metal structure you see here is just to support the ancient relic. Our next stop is going to be on a boat on the sea, and we were hoping it would be in a little better condition. Then we were off to take that voyage on the sea. This is big business today, and the boat we went on looked quite traditional, but was really nothing like the ones they used in Jesus' time. It was quite an interesting cruise. There were a number of these boats taking people out for a little tour on the lake, though they really didn't go far. The captain of the boat had a lot of character. You could just imagine being on the lake in a storm and wondering if you're going to get back to shore, or out there and throwing your net over the side, and the net being so full you couldn't pull it back into the boat. It truly was an amazing time visiting this area of the country around the Sea of Galilee. In my next video, we're going to travel towards the Mediterranean and visit Nazareth on the way, and then visit Caesarea by the sea, and Tel Aviv, and some other places along the way. Hope to see you then. I trust you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel.